Hey guys, what's up? CaptainTurbo here, and welcome to Let's Play Metroid Zero Mission. And I'm just gonna let this opening cutscene here speak for itself for a few moments. Well, that was certainly interesting. And yeah, guys, this is Metroid Zero Mission. Essentially just a remake of the original Metroid on the NES. This was a remake for the Game Boy Advance. We did this a little while ago for the Super LP Heroes race channel, and you know, it went well. You know, I enjoyed the game very much, so I figured I'd sit down and do a Let's Play of it. And just clarification, guys, this is still part of the pretty bad summer that we just had, the heat wave and all that. So all this was done. This is post commentary right now. So yeah, I'm not actually playing it. This is what I did about 3-4 weeks ago, something like that, maybe even longer. But as I say, it's just been way too hot to be doing live Let's Plays. But thankfully it has cooled down, so after this I've only got one more post-com game to do, and then I'll go back to doing live commentary again. Planet Zebes. I called this plane home once, in peaceful times long before evil haunted the caverns below. Now I shall finally tell the tale of my first battle here. My so-called Zero Mission. Samus Aran. But yeah, this game definitely has a lot more story elements to it. Not a lot, but definitely more than the original one did anyway, and I would actually say even more than Super Metroid. But you will notice a couple places right at the beginning of the game here. First thing you want to do is head to the left. I'm just shooting up and trying out all the controls, making sure everything was working correctly. But yeah, this looks very familiar. It should, because this is pretty much the first thing you come across in Super Metroid, as well as the Morph Ball. Well, after about a minute or two of gameplay. And you get instructions on how to use everything. Just double tap on the down directional pad button twice and you'll go into ball mode. Can't do a whole lot right now. In fact, your beam's actually got a very short distance range of distance range of fire. So you want to be careful of that as well. You do get an upgrade for that very shortly, so nothing much to worry about. Enemies will constantly drop health, and then when you eventually do get it off of weapons like missiles and bombs and stuff. So yeah, very Metroid-ish. This Chozo statue here is sort of like a guide. It'll basically tell you the place you need to go next. Just basically to advance the main game anyway. If you want to go off the beaten path, you can. But for those new, for those new to games like this, Metroid and open world 2D things, it's actually very good in introducing you to the basic where you've got to go and stuff like that. Didn't think I really explained that very well, so I'll try again. It's a lot more linear than the than Super Metroid, but at the same time you can go off the beaten path and do whatever you please. Especially if you can do tricks like the wall jump and stuff, then you can really just go places you're not supposed to until later. But I actually do prefer this game in the fact that it's a lot more linear. I've said it before and I'll say it again, I am not a huge fan of non-linear 2D games. Now 3D games I don't mind. Games like Skyrim and all that type of stuff where you can pretty much go and do whatever you want, I don't mind that. And by the way, here's the long beam. You know, I don't mind that, but when it comes to 2D, there's just something about them that I don't like in open world exploration, unless it's really, really well done. Like, say for instance Symphony of the Night, I feel is really well done because the locations are so varied that it's easy to remember where stuff is, but even then I still have a bit of a hard time. But with Metroid there's a lot of caverns and stuff, and it's kind of hard to remember one place from the next. Still, it's a minor complaint I have anyway. But yeah, we have the long beam now, so we have pretty much the same weapon we would have at the beginning of Super Metroid as well. And bear in mind, this was like a first... this is meant to be a retelling of the first game, so there you go. These two statues here will open up once you've beaten Kraid and Ridley. But you do need to come here in order to activate a doorway to the far right, so make sure you go there first. You'll have to go in that room. I don't think you actually have to go up to the statue, but I just wanted to make sure. You have everything on the screen here that you usually have. You have the map there in the top right. You have your health there in the top left. Obviously, if you go into the menu, you can check pretty much your entire status, like what you have in terms of weapons and stuff. And on the map there, I'll say it right now, the blue path is basically showing you what you have, where you've been, sorry. The green path is hidden pathways, or, well yeah, hidden pathways. And the grey is obviously unexplored territory. In fact, there's a lot of the map we obviously haven't discovered yet. This enemy I don't think you can kill until you get the screw attack much later on. But yeah, Samus controls pretty much the same as Super Metroid. There is a little bit of a difference in terms of the gameplay. Not a huge difference, but you can... She sort of feels weird compared to Super Metroid. So... And I don't really know how to explain it. She's a lot more loose, for the lack of a better word. And we're about to get our first missile pack here. There we go. Missile tanks, I call them missile packs though. You'll get 5 missiles for every pack that you pick up. I'm not sure what the overall number is. I think it's 255. At least I think that's where it is in Super Metroid, so it might be the same here. We get our first mini-boss here, technically, because you don't have to actually kill this guy if you don't want to. All you need to do is shoot missiles into his eye and you'll be fine. All you need is 3 missiles as well, so... There you go. And unfortunately after 2 hits he usually does disappear, so... we will take him on again later, and we will kill him, because you do get a weapon for killing him. But obviously, as I said, we don't have it right now, because I missed that first shot. But yeah, the game has some really good music as well. You know, the Game Boy Advance gets a lot of crap for having crap audio quality, but honestly I feel this game is one of those that actually manages to avoid that. I think it's really good, actually. Alright, those little fuckers there, I don't know their names, but they are annoying. Thankfully we will get rid of them shortly. You can use bombs there as well, but I'm not going to be doing that. What you want to do here, head up to the left, shoot this, and get that missile pack. So it's green, that means it's a little bit of a hidden area, so... don't waste your missiles on these things either, just shoot them with your beam. And this is the last one. And those little bug things shouldn't actually bother you anymore when you're in those 2 rooms. Missile pack at the bottom here. I do actually get quite a few missile packs, but I don't get all of them. You know, because much like in Super Metroid, some of them require you to use exploits and stuff, and I'm not very good at that type of thing, so... You know, like shine sparking and stuff like that. You'll see me do it once, but that's it. And that's that boss beaten, by the way. Very easy boss. Pick up a few things, and by for beating him, we actually get the charge beam. This isn't really usable. I'm going to be honest, I've hardly ever used the charge beam. I never really see much reason for it apart from jumping over certain lava pits where enemies will spawn. We get our first energy tank. Now we can take a little bit more damage. I can't remember how many. I don't get all the energy tanks either. I do get most of them, but not all of them. Yeah, the game actually is pretty easy. It's beatable in a good hour and a half. In fact, less than that. During the race, I think the guy that won in about an hour 10, something like that. Much faster than Super Metroid. As I said, it's a shorter game, so... But it's very accessible. I think this is the Metroid that the Metroid game anyone can pick up and play, really. Yeah, you're probably going to suffer a couple deaths or something at first, but you know, it's definitely the most accessible. Another save point right here. You obviously can shoot diagonally upwards, much like in Super Metroid as well, so... We're about to get another upgrade here. And obviously red doors require a missile in order to open. I believe green doors require the super missile. And much later on, yellow doors require super bombs. Or power bombs, I think it is. I should know that actually. I mean, I'm a wrestling fan after all. Yep, press B in morph ball form to set a bomb. Very simple. And if you actually jump into the blue light there, I don't know how it's coming out with YouTube's frame rate, but if you jump into it, all your weapon and energy will be fully restored. Another missile pack back here. Quite an obvious one, since you obviously, when you get a new upgrade, sometimes it's a good idea to use that new power you have in that same room you get it, because there's usually going to be something hidden, or at least that's how it is in Super Metroid. Here it only happens once or twice, I believe. Bomb that there, and just sort of lay bombs here. These little guys will take life off you, but they're not really going to represent much of a threat. Oh, and when the door's grey, it means you need to kill a certain amount of enemies in order to open it. And here's me basically trying to remember what it is I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah, that didn't go too well, did it? I do like that tune though, I think it's really good. Obviously you could use bombs there. I believe all that's below there is... I think it's just another missile pack, but I don't bother going for it. You know, I'm going to be straight up with you guys here. Metroid Zero Mission is not a hard game. It's actually very easy, in fact. That's why I would recommend going to this one first if you want to get into the Metroid series. I gotta say, of the two, I haven't played a Metroid game I don't like yet. I mean, I've only played two. I've played this and Super Metroid, and I like both games a lot. You know, I have contemplated picking up Metroid Prime, but the fucking trilogy's like £100, and I don't want to pay that much for a set of games. Anyway, guys, we're actually getting close to the end of the part here, and this is the only reason I use the charge beam, by the way, is to make sure I don't get hit by those enemies. Full charge will actually knock them out. But yeah, guys, I'm going to end this off here, guys, because we're at the end of the part. So I'll see you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed this, and have a nice night.